On my quest to use every single DPS with Sparkle, I've realized that I've made a grave mistake. I've neglected Clara. So it's Clara's turn, and to pair her with her teammates, I decided to go for Tingyun and Ranmei. Ranmei because she's Ranmei, and Tingyun because I want to have maximum uptime with her enhanced follow-ups, essentially. So for the build on Clara, I did opt for Blade's Light Cone. Now, all you have to do if you don't have Blade's Light Cone is just use the On the Fall of an Aeon, or her Light Cone, obviously. I do have her Light Cone, I just haven't leveled it, but I do want to try it because the healing on the Light Cone for Clara makes it much more comfortable to use without a sustain, and because of the damage mitigation in her own kit, this is one of the better teams to run sustainless in my opinion, as long as you can output enough damage to make sure that everybody dies before too many cycles go, obviously. So the reason why I went for Blade's Light Cone is for the 18% crit rate, mainly, and then also for the HP percent, just to make us a little tankier. Now, unfortunately, the base stats of Blade's Light Cone, the defense particularly, is very low, so her defense is lacking, but hopefully the damage mitigation makes up for that. Now, for everything else on her, I did opt for, oh, and as you can see, the traces are very minorly leveled. I haven't got a couple of the extra ones. I did go for Musketeer and Rutilant, which is pretty much, I keep pausing at the wrong time, but pretty much not what you want to use. You want to use a Salsodo if you have it, and then as for the follow-up, you don't want to use the follow-up set because it's only one instance of damage, so it doesn't actually matter too much, so I just use my best relics. And as for her Eidolons, I do have E1 because I just got it after Sparkle, and whether it's good or not, I haven't actually tested it out too much, but it'll give you a slight extra multiplier when the enemies have Mark of Counter, because then you'll be able to, actually use it twice if you skill twice. But other than that, it's nothing too important. Now for Sparkle, she is a hyperspeed, ludicrous speed. That is what she is. And on top of that, she is on a HP rope for extra speed, because we can get their ults up with the supplemental energy from Ranmei's Light Cone. Now, Dance 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 on Tingyun, obviously, with a Von Whack, just so she does get an easy 3 turns before Clara goes the final time. And other than that, she will get 3 actions as long as you do use Dance 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 and use her skill twice per turn. Now, Ranmei, because we're not actually going against physical weak enemies except for Japard, the extra break effect past 180 doesn't matter too much, so I did just stop right at 180. Now let's get into the run versus MOC 12 and see how Clara does. Now that we're here, we're going to pop all of our techniques, and then we're going to use Sevarog to blast Japard in the face. So right off the bat, the ult with Tingyun will get Clara's ult up, which is wonderful because she only has 110 cost ult, very, very low. Now, thanks to Von Whack, Ranmei did go first, so that means this first skill is going to benefit from the res pen. And the MOC buff will also give it an extra 50% damage, so this is slightly inflated from what it normally should be. Well, we missed the crit, so it wasn't even that high. And whoever is in the first slot always gets targeted by the TV, I think, because it did it 4 times in a row, so. Now boosting her up once more, now we get the damage percent, so now we should have, I want to say almost optimal damage, except we probably just lost the damage buff from Tingyun, so not completely. And note that because we have Blade's Light Cone, whenever she is the one to get attacked, we will deal extra damage. So as you can see right now, that damage boost did just activate, so now we did get a pretty nice hit there. Now that was actually a wonderful scenario that Ranmei got imprisoned, because now she's sent to the bottom of the cycle, so even though Dance 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 pushed her up, we're not going to have to use her and then get rid of the turn of the buffs. And as for this, I did check the energy to see, so she's 70 out of 110, so we actually are going to use Tingyun's skill, and then pop the ult, and then go to her regular skill. Mainly because you're going to see how much energy she gains after all these kills. Yeah, so she's almost over, she is actually over half. and that 10 did activate from Ranmei's light cone, which means that one more skill will get us another ult, which is important because after her 2 stacks for her follow-ups disappear, then we can immediately ult once more, because as you can see, there's nothing in between these 2 enemies' turns. Beautiful. And now once more we get the ult up for the extra follow-ups, so now we will trigger it once more. Now, since this is the second action of Ranmei, she still won't lose her buffs after this, which is wonderful. And then we are going to skill just to push her into the action cycle. Perfect. And now, once more, the damage boost is applied, and pretty nice. So we do still have one more stack, which means that this hit will trigger our final follow-up. Now, unfortunately, after this point, I couldn't do any more damage, so the 0 cycle did fail, even though I wasn't really attempting to 0 cycle. It is possible, though. I mean, if you level up her traces and maybe do a different rotation. Actually, I don't even know how it's possible to 0 cycle this, unless you have a ton of Eidolons, because as you can see, they're missing a pretty good amount of health. If that enemy with 2 action value was able to be pushed into the cycle, then it would 100% be possible. But unfortunately, since we just don't get another enemy attack, then you just can't do much about it. So as you can see now, this next attack, if that was in the cycle, then you'll see what would have happened. Pretty much destroyed, and that 7% we would have just made up by changing our relics or something. And a nice little blast to send him into the Shadow Realm. Nice. So, that is the run with Clara and Sparkle. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Comments, any ideas, any suggestions? I appreciate it very much. Like the video, and subscribe. Thank you. Adios.